You know why Canada is so messed up and it's doomed?
You can see it everywhere you go. Stores are closing, people are being laid off.
Canadians are broke and Carney wants you to donate. Talk about squeezing water out of a rock.
How the fuck does this make any sense? Someone earning $300,000 to $400,000 a year salary has a net worth of $95 million.
I don't understand what the hang-up is with people saying, oh, these crown corporations aren't profitable.
Canada is objectively broken.
When people talk about Canada being broken, they often talk about what it was like back 20, 30, 40 years ago. And
Mark Carney and the Liberal Party is asking us, the Canadians.
I'm going to say this bluntly. Canada is done.
Welcome to Canadian Rant. Canada is not just struggling, Canada is breaking. Inflation is eating away at every paycheck. Rent is out of control. Groceries cost more every week. Taxes keep rising. And for millions of Canadians, it feels like no matter how hard you work, you're still falling behind. And now, this. While Canadians are drowning under inflation, job insecurity, and rising costs, Mark Carney and the Liberal government are calling on Canadians to chip in and donate to help build a stronger Canada. Donate? Seriously, the message from Ottawa seems to be, give us more, and let's be honest, Canadians already know how this works. If donations don't come in voluntarily, they'll come through higher taxes instead. That's the Liberal way. Billions sent overseas, billions unaccounted for. And now everyday Canadians are being told to open their wallets again, so the question is simple. If Canada is so broke, where did all the money go? Let's talk about it.
Canadians are broke and Carney wants you to donate. Talk about squeezing water out of a rock. Prime Minister Mark Carney and the Liberal government are asking Canadians to chip in and donate to help build Canada even stronger. Read this bogus tweet they posted. Mark Carney and our new Liberal team are delivering real results for Canadians this year, and it's all thanks to you. Chip in now to help build Canada even stronger in 2026? Come on, Canada, only takes 2 minutes to donate. You can donate from 2025 all the way up to 1750 or even more. Do you want to tell Carney that we're broke, or should I? But unfortunately, I don't have a cell number. But what's the guy thinking, honestly? Sorry, but we donate. It's called taxes. But you just keep giving our taxes away to Ukraine. So ask Zelensky for a donation. I'm sure he'll do it.
I don't understand what the hang-up is with people saying, oh, these crown corporations aren't profitable. They're providing a service. The government should provide services. That's what you pay taxes for. Have your taxes gone down? No. Have your services been cut? Absolutely. You're going to pay the taxes anyway, so why not get something in return? What is the logic in you paying taxes and those taxes go towards a private company that only provides you a service and makes profit off of? Why wouldn't you want the profits to go to healthcare or education?
when people talk about Canada being broken, they often talk about what it was like back 20, 30, 40 years ago. And as somebody who was there, I can tell you the biggest difference between now and then is you couldn't walk down the street without seeing a small independent business, a family-run restaurant, a little mom-and-pop shop of some kind. Whereas now, everywhere you go, it's McDonald's, Wendy's, Walmart, Amazon trucks all over the place. The problem with Canada is we sold it out. We sold it out to corporations. We sold it out to shareholders. We sold out mom and pop. And as somebody who's been opening small businesses their entire life, I want to see more people take that initiative and start a small business. But I know it's hard. It is hard to start a small business, and it is expensive. Every business I started for under $500. I learned the value of bootstrapping my businesses. So if you've been thinking about starting a small business and you want to stress test your idea, or you just want to get some inside tips, I'm going to put on a 2-hour free workshop, how to bootstrap your business for under $500. If you're interested, it's totally free. Jump in, comment workshop, follow me for more.
You have got to listen to this. Mark Carney and the Liberal Party is asking us, the Canadians, to pitch in to help build Canada stronger. Us, the taxpayers, to help. I got a question. I got a serious question. We just gave billions and billions and billions of dollars everywhere around the planet. And you asking us to pitch in to help build Canada stronger. You have got the nerve. I gotta give it to you. You got the nerve.
You can see it everywhere you go. Stores are closing, people are being laid off, prices are going up almost every week. It's getting worse and worse for ordinary Canadians, and it'll be worse next year. Millions are now choosing between paying their rent or mortgage or buying food for their families. Some people are maxing out their credit cards to pay for daily needs. And, I mentioned that 2 million people at food banks every week. Over 1 million Canadians will have to renew their mortgages in 2026 at much higher interest. Monthly payments are going to go up as high as $2,000 a month. Meanwhile, banks are refusing people with perfect credit scores from renewing their mortgages. And bank takeovers are at record levels. The only help that he offered, as you said, $400 income tax break, which for the average family, which might buy 1 week of groceries.
Canada is objectively broken. The nation has become the equivalent of an obese person who insists that they're still beautiful. The mirror shows disease, but the nation keeps ignoring its reflection, telling itself that everything's fine while the seam's split. Since the Liberals took office in 2015, crime is up 63% in Ottawa alone. Violent crime climbed 58%, property crime 64%, and shoplifting has surged nearly 400%. Our so-called justice system now treats criminals as victims and victims as collateral damage. Meanwhile, a record 4.1 million food bank visits in Toronto revealed just how bad the cost of living crisis has become. Just 5 years ago, the number was below 1 million. Now, food bank use has risen 340% since 2019, and 1 in 10 Torontonians depends on handouts to eat. And our healthcare system, once the pride of the nation, is now in shambles. Out of 30 comparable countries, Canada ranks 3rd in total spending as a share of its economy. Yet it ranks 27th for doctors, 25th for hospital beds, 27th for MRI machines, 28th for CT scanners, and dead last for surgical wait times. Canada spends more on healthcare than almost any other universal system in the world, yet delivers less. We are bloated with bureaucracy, heavy with debt, and addicted to denial. Like the obese person who calls themselves body positive, we can pretend this is fine, but it isn't. As Ayn Rand aptly noted, we can ignore reality, but we cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality.
Also breaking this hour, a new report from Food Banks Canada that food insecurity in this country continues to rise. But some help and some relief in the way of new government programs. The report gives Canada a failing grade on food insecurity. 25.5% of households are struggling to afford food.
For those 25% of Canadians out there and the others that are on the brink, I'm sorry, this government has failed you. I'm sorry that they had no problem shelling out $14 billion to Nexstar Energy for EV batteries. I'm sorry that they had no problem dishing out $13 billion to PowerCo Canada, again, with your taxpayer dollars for the production of EV batteries. I'm sorry that they had $1 billion for another for-profit organization. I'm sorry that they had $600 million for Telsat, who doesn't have a single satellite in space yet, in order to compete with Starlink, who has 6,000 some odd satellites in space. Sorry, I'm gonna fact check myself.
I'm going to say this bluntly. Canada is done. And if you live here, you feel it, even if you pretend not to. The cost of living is insane. The politics are woke beyond repair. The laws make no sense. And the government feels like it's steering the country right into the ground. When I travel and people hear I'm Canadian, I get the same reaction. I'm sorry. And honestly, same. So many people I know have already left Costa Rica, Mexico, Europe, because they saw where this is headed. And more Canadians are waking up and asking the same thing. How do I leave? Here's the truth. You can. There are better, safer, more affordable countries. You pick a place, get the right visa, make a plan, and go. This is one reason I'm so happy I'm already building my own health and wellness business. If I stayed dependent on my flying career in Canada, I'd be stuck. Entrepreneurship gives you real freedom, the ability to work from anywhere and choose a country that actually aligns with your values. I will be leaving Canada, and inside my community, I'll be breaking down the options, the process, and how to create location freedom so you're not trapped in a collapsing system. If you're unhappy and watching Canada fall apart in real time, here's your permission slip. You're allowed to leave. You're allowed to start over. You're allowed to choose freedom. If you're a freedom lover like me, follow at Rise, Heal, Thrive. Lots of love.
How the fuck does this make any sense? Someone earning $300,000 to $400,000 a year salary has a net worth of $95 million. Someone needs to explain this to me because I've worked for the banking world for 9 years. I've seen customers make $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, even $500,000 a year. And guess what? None of them had a net worth of close to $100 million. None of them even had a net worth close to $50 million. But let's break this massive scam down. Justin Trudeau's salary was $400,000. His net worth, $95 million. Jagmeet Singh's salary, $270,000. His net worth, $78 million. Pierre's salary, $300,000. Net worth, $25 million. I guess the most reasonable out of all of them. Now tell me, how the fuck do you turn a government paycheck into tens of millions of dollars unless you're funneling taxpayers' money straight into your pocket? And while they're stacking millions, Canadians are working 4 to 5 months out of the year for free because that money is taken in a form of tax and goes straight to the government. And you're working 2 to 3 jobs just to put food on the table and pay for gas while we drive a broken down car because you cannot afford to finance a new one even at 0% financing. For fuck's sake, some Canadians are even ready to hand over their house keys to the banks because they cannot keep up anymore. When is enough enough? When are Canadians gonna wake up and say we're done being robbed blindly? This isn't leadership. This is theft. Theft in broad daylight, in front of your eyes. So Canada, the question is, when do we stand the fuck up?
You know why Canada is so messed up and it's doomed? It's because every 4 years a new government comes in place and steals billions of dollars and they leave, and then a new leader comes 4 years later and he steals billions of dollars and leaves. Just think about how many billions of dollars they collect just off property tax alone. Every single time a new high-rise goes up, that's like 500 new units that have to pay property tax every single year. If you add up all the property tax they collect every single year, it's in the billions. Yet we don't see a penny of this money. They don't give nothing back to us. There's no new highways. There's no new schools. There's no new soccer fields. There's no new nothing. There's no new programs. And there's no safety. They don't even protect you guys. And in return, you got nothing to show for it. You know, Alberta has more oil than Saudi Arabia, yet we're still paying like $2 a liter. Make it make sense. If I was the person running this country, I would make gas like 20 cents a liter, okay? I would end all this corruption going on. I swear to God, listen, you guys are being ran by the most corrupted government in the world. You guys think these third world countries are corrupted? You don't even know what's going on in your own country. If you do the math, you'll see they're making billions of dollars, yet they haven't built one new highway, one new bridge. If they want to make a new bridge, they're going to charge you guys more. They're going to put a toll on it. They're going to say, oh, we have to put a toll, this and that. It's the biggest scam in the world. Go look at China. Look what they're doing in China. They've built 1 billion new highways, 1 billion new places for people to go. Things are cheap. People are living. People are making money. The economy is growing. Now look at Canada. How sad is it? People are literally dying out here. You got Canadians that have been here for 5 generations that can't afford a home. Make it make sense. Canadians can't even afford a home. That's why we need a king. We need a monarchy, because you can blame the monarch if some shit goes wrong, and the king has to perform. The king has to answer to the people, right? If I was the king of this country, I'd make gas 20 cents a liter. I would make all single mothers have their own free home. I'd make every 18-year-old that wants to move out of their house and they're going to go to university or college, giving them a 1-bedroom condo. I would make this country great again. I swear to God. And it doesn't take a genius to do so. I know we got billions in the budget, but all that money disappears somehow into secret funds in Switzerland and England. The money is getting sent out of the country. That's why Canada has no gold in the reserve. They even sold all their gold off. If we kept our gold, we'd had billions of dollars right now. The Canadian system is broken. People can't even afford to buy groceries, yet they want to increase taxes and introduce more carbon tax, more this tax, more that tax. And nobody ever revolts. Nobody ever goes and protests. Why? Because the average Canadian is is like literally a second citizen. It's like most Canadians come from other countries. They're scared to protest, right? They don't want to get kicked out. They don't want to get deported. There's not enough real Canadians left. The ones that are, they don't have the time to go protest. They're too busy working, trying to keep a roof over their head and buy food for their kids. That's why the system is broken, and every Canadian deep down knows it. Something is awfully wrong. Why isn't...
At some point, Canadians have to stop pretending this is normal. A country rich in resources, talent, and hardworking people should not feel this poor. Yet here we are, inflation crushing households, wages lagging behind, public services strained, and trust in leadership eroding by the day. What frustrates Canadians the most isn't just the cost of living, it's the disconnect. Disconnected leaders asking for donations while citizens struggle. Disconnected policies that send billions abroad while Canadians are told to tighten their belts. Disconnected rhetoric about building a stronger Canada while everyday life gets weaker. Canadians are generous people. We always have been. We help each other in floods, fires, and crises. But generosity should never be abused, and patriotism should never be used as a pressure tactic. If Canada truly needs rebuilding, it doesn't start with donation links. It starts with responsible spending, transparent accounting, prioritizing Canadians at home, and leadership that understands real-world pain. And let's be clear, questioning government decisions is not unpatriotic. Demanding accountability is not hate. Wanting your tax dollars respected is not selfish. Strong countries don't guilt their citizens into paying more. Strong countries earn trust by managing what they already take. Right now, too many Canadians feel like they're living in a system where the rules keep changing, but the burden always falls on the same people: the working class, the middle class, seniors, and young families. If that makes you angry, good. Anger is often the first step toward awareness. And if you're tired of being told to stay quiet, accept less, and pay more, you're not alone. This is Canadian Rant. We ask the uncomfortable questions. We say what others won't. And we keep the spotlight where it belongs, on power, money, and accountability. If this message resonates with you, share this video. Start the conversation. And remember, a strong Canada isn't built on silence. It's built when Canadians finally say, enough.